Would you say well-being is a more natural is to put it in some words a more natural state of being? I'm finding it's weird what I'm gonna say, but I'm finding that I'm more in well-being, and a part of me is like, there's something wrong with you.
Something's wrong. Yeah. I knew you were going to say that.
You knew.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, yeah, it's just not sure my question, but um, yeah, it's like weird. It's like even I'm in like I don't know, I've been sick or I've been like with a lot of at moments with a lot of thoughts, and all of that seems to bother me less. And I think it has also has is related somehow to this of doing more what I want to know in my life and moment to moment. And yeah, I guess I'm having less nightmares. I guess there's a part of me that's like, yeah, this is weird. I don't know. So I just wanted to asking about that.
Yeah, the answer is yes. You might have forgotten the question.
So what?
You asked you asked if well-being is a more natural state. The answer is yes.
Yeah.
It's like we become addicts so young, and that we think it's normal. We think it's the normal state. And then you go, yeah, and we go through a withdrawal, and it sucks. But then you start to realize something starts to feel good, and you think it's strange. That it's coming into a natural state of health. But it could even be scary to feel that well being because we're so identified with the struggle and the suffering.
Yeah.
And when I say addicts, I mean it's the addiction to thought as a way to not experience reality, which is the root of all real addictions. I mean, by that I mean what's more like conventional medical addiction to substances or
So how would you define addiction to thought? Because you can also be in well-being and with a lot of thought and not be addict using it a lot and not be in addiction, no?
yeah, it's more specifically with the process of identifying with thought. It's it's the addiction to knowing what we are.
Yeah.
More specifically. And there's a healthy process in having an identity. But then it becomes too much. Too limited, too narrow, too real. Rather than just something that's naturally how we function. The important thing is that you're discovering this well-being, and you can tell it is not obstructed by thinking.
Mhm.
So we often, especially in this kind of work of spiritual practice, and there's a very deep belief that thinking is the problem and that thought is the problem. And so we need to stop thought or stop thinking, but it's not. It's very specifically the belief in knowing what we are, or the belief through which we know what we are.
Mm. Yes, I even noticed some like remnant fears of like, well, like I've been through many years of like discipline and stuff like with um things done from my teacher, and stuff like with meditation and meditating several times a week, and I've been through a lot of that, and now some what would I oh, it went away. I was going to say something that um that I keep thinking in the way that there's something you lose, or that if you're not doing certain discipline or something, I recognize them as remnant fears from that type of thinking from the past that is not so much in accordance to my experience now, or something like that.
Yeah, I wouldn't say we transcend that, but it's important to see that a practice is not an end in itself. And so we often need that foundation.
Yeah.
And the discipline. Not always, not for everybody.
But maybe at some point, if you stop doing it, it doesn't mean like you're going backwards. Maybe um I don't know if it's clear what I'm asking.
It's very clear, yeah. The important thing is you're recognizing this well-being because the practice is in service to this well-being. A practice, that's what is in service to, ultimately.
Okay.
If you were to say, well, I have a well-being because this or that happened, or because of this, um, I achieved this, or I got this, or something happened. But you're saying the opposite. It's a well-being that's in spite of. And so that's a true well-being. That's a deep well-being. And that's what, for me, a spiritual practice is about. And so then you can go back to the practice. You don't need to stop it, but you can go back to it from a different place, from a place of exploring, of going deeper, of um, curiosity, less from a place of a need or a discipline.
Or a fear. Yeah.
But I say this, or a fear. I say this to you because you're describing this well-being. It's the deepest freedom. Especially if there's no cause for it.
Well, the mind can always come up with causes, but yeah, I think I know what you mean. Thanks.
Yeah, I mean, I can think of a cause, which is what you said. You're doing what you want to do, but there's also freedom in that. There's freedom in finally you're able to do what you've always wanted to do.
Yeah, but even saying it that way, I still like don't understand it. Yeah. Really. I can't, I'm not sure I can say it's the cause, like direct relationship.
I agree. Yeah.